You can grow within Kappa Delta, the chapter, growing in your different appointed officer positions, growing personally by meeting new people and interacting with them. But the best part about that is you get that little support group within your chapter niche, and then you can go off onto campus and still have that support network to lean on when you're applying for positions or you're going to give a presentation or things like that. So when Max passed, I actually was at Chipotle with one of my friends, and my dad let me know that Max was found and that he had passed away. So at that point, I got myself back to my chapter house, and just from me texting a few people on my way back to Kappa Delta after learning about Max's passing, everyone was in my room. I burst into tears. I was not okay. This is the first time that I'd really dealt with any type of grief or very heavy loss very suddenly. So it was nice to just have everybody there. I'm not an emotional person either. So to kind of see me break down really shocked and kind of freaked out a lot of my friends. They kind of held me, were with me. They stayed with me that entire day. Kind of someone was always checking on me, making sure I was okay. Without that supportive group and those group of girls, when I broke down in my room that day, I honestly don't know how I would have gone through that entire experience. Behind that news clip, behind that article, behind the legislation, behind the different court cases, there's a family and there's a group of friends and there's a cohort of people where this has drastically changed their lives for the rest of their lives.
We dropped Max off on August 15, 2017. This picture is the last picture I have of my son and I. It is a moment I will never forget. It's a moment I am sure many of you had with your parents when they dropped you off, especially that first year at school. It's the last time I felt his arms around me, giving me that huge hug that only he could give. It is the last time I saw that enormous smile. It is the last time I was able to look into his eyes, to tell him that I loved him, tell him I would miss him, and tell him that I was so proud of him. I told him, this is your time. Go shine your light on the world. 29 days later, my son would be dead because of alcohol hazing in his fraternity house.
What we went through during that entire process with learning of his passing, the funeral, and everything that's kind of proceeded since, we would never want this to happen to anyone like that ever again. So my aunt created the Max Gruver Foundation, which goes out and talks at different conventions, college campuses. I gave a presentation at my own chapter, Kappa Delta, handed out wristbands. We all have these that we wear. My family wears them. People on our campus will still wear them. And so I think it's really important to continue to share not only who Max was as a person, a gentle giant, the friendliest guy you've ever met in your entire life, but also be able to share the tragic story of his death and how you can stop it and you can stand up for what is right. And when you see something, you definitely can say something, because at the end of the day, it might save a life.
Please take these words back to your chapters and across your campuses and put an end to hazing. Hazing has no place in your sisterhood or on your campuses. Make something good out of something that has been so horribly bad for us. Make change happen. I'm going to leave you today with something we found in one of Max's journals the night before we buried him. It is from a paper he wrote on blessings when he was 16 years old. And the last paragraph ended like this: God works in funny ways. He does bad things sometimes because in the end they are good. Something bad can happen to you, but it may happen because it will make you better. He does bad to ultimately create good.